Okay, so the tweet went through, and I should probably switch scenes to BizHawk since I did get that started. I don't know what I was listening to last. Oh, huh. Sorry about that. I was wondering why it was so loud. And it's because it was coming through my speakers. Had nothing to do with how loud it was on my headphones. So we did pick up Jirazav and Jirazav. I grabbed a couple levels for Jirazav, which was like 3 fights, and it was a miserable experience. I will quickly show you, because it's not going to take a lot of time unless we get the splitting enemies, and those are a pain mainly because both of the brothers are purely physical characters. And I want to show it here because at least here there's a spot to... That's not right. Buy medicine from. I don't remember exactly where the medicine such is. Once we leave here. So yeah, you can see one of the nice things about Jirazav is that his weapons do cause some status ailments. I think I am just going to single target down that wolf worm so it doesn't mess us up in the future. And as you can see, the wind sword is really strong. It is kind of a pain to use because I do have to hit left, and my brain really wants to hit right there and use whatever the HST is. If somebody has an idea, that would be great. But yeah, I'm gonna need to use the high bottles after this, and it would be worse if that thing up top was splitting. But we just don't do all that much damage if we're not. Do the group spells now do more damage? So yeah, 260. That's pretty good for right now. Rizav's stats aren't the best in the world. There's actually no reason not to use it since I'm just going to be refilling. And medicine is a stock standard price. So, I'm gonna go up here to grab medicine. I'll refill the bottles. Save, no. And then continue on. That's not the save person. And the trick, one of the real reasons why we want to leave here with the Reserve Brothers is a little trick that I think most people that read FAQs and such know about. But if you were just playing it yourself, you wouldn't. I'm gonna drop a save state so I can demonstrate it. Normally speaking, oops, if you fire these two while you're still in that cave, you don't get that little message. That message is the signifier that you can rehire them. Otherwise you can't. I believe the big thing with that is, and you can see there, level 55. The most health. And a ton of attack. Not quite as much as we have with the Gomutai, but that weapon actually has some effects, and he picked up some magic as well. Now I'm not going to do that because we don't really have a spare, S-Tavern, we don't have a spare to hire. But, I believe from here we need to go up. But that is something that is useful to keep in mind for the future. Is when you need to hire people next. Basically, when you get tired of Girazev being really weak and just want better characters in general. You'll likely end up replacing both of these mercenaries, not too far down the line. I think you have to replace them relatively soon, even if you were going to keep them because there's a event. But I don't remember exactly how far in the future it is. It might be when we're sneaking in to do that, whatever it is. I'm drawing a blank because I'm an idiot. The parade. You can probably just... And I'm not really showing off the HST because all it's going to be is a single attack that I think about 1.5 times as strong as each of the wind sword attacks. Huh. Okay, so I think it is just continue north. I thought I had notes, but I did not. Uh, One thing that has been really nice is that J Reserve does have very, very high physical defense. Of course, he can't take spells, and G can't take much damage, or takes a lot of damage from both. But oh, hey, that one on the left is currently frozen. I don't know how long that lasts. I'm also not 100% certain that that's the actual frozen sign. My memory of the status afflictions in this game is pretty poor. But I believe that's the frozen one. Yeah, given that given that the whatever it is didn't move that turn, I'd be willing to bet that it's freeze. I think these take more from break. Assuming they're like the prior ones. But yeah, that is a good example of why the Wind Sword can be so strong. Also, it seems to hit more than the Gomutai anyway, so... And here I am just attacking with the HST, might be able to show off why it's weaker. Yeah. The HST does a little bit less damage than the Wind Sword. But you also have to keep in mind, it's artificially inflating J's attack. J isn't really a 305 attack character. That HST is, I want to say like 60 or so. And like all the towns we've come across, this town also has some items. I vaguely recall where they are. I mean, I definitely know where one of them is. Is it in the tavern? No. There is a new mercenary here. I don't remember which one. I guess it's this one. She has two issues. One is she doesn't have bottles, and I'm unwilling to pick up a mercenary without bottles. I mean, obviously the reserves, only one of them has a bottle, and it's a mini bottle. But, okay. That's the one that I remembered. But, she also just kind of sucks. Like, that's one of the problems, is right now we have one of the potential sets of endgame mercenaries. Obviously it requires that buff that G gets, because one of the issues right now is any level that G gets is going to be one in each stat. I don't know if you naturally leveled him to 55, he would have those stats. But right now he sucks. Oh, I wanted to check this anyway. think I picked this up for both characters, but it costs nothing to double check. And one of the problems with that Lily mercenary is she costs 34,000 to get, because you have to get basically everything for her. And that's not bad. That's not even half. Well, that is over half of my money, but none of it's that good. And we'll actually come across all of it all. It's one of those things where, like, the main thing I remember about this town is you don't want to buy anything because none of the gear's worth it long term. Okay, so I think at least one or two of the items is in here. Is that an upgrade? I know that's a AoE weapon. I know it's Midia, even though the prior person we saw using it was a male. It is not. I actually have quite a few things to sell. I'm not gonna sell those ancient armors and weapons for a reason that's probably become obvious by my alluding to it. But I'm not going to specifically state it. I am, however, going to sell the excess crap gear. I think the fire shield is worse. And that doesn't really matter because I'm very likely to keep using the Gomutai for the near future anyway. I think I will need to equip the Kormu sword. And that's it. Okay. It wouldn't be an awful idea to sell the bomb bottle, but I'm gonna keep it around in case I ever do decide to use it. I'm not actually sure here. Oops. That was not my intent. That is actually going to have a rewind used. I had forgotten that Pique was not in front anymore. And I mean, it's so easy to forget with Rezav looking just like Pique. Okay, so neither one of them has really anything in water, I don't think. And I have no idea if any of those spells are good. I think Midia has the better spell. I think she has a Oh, no. She has defense up and wall is the one that I keep confusing as being the physical version of magic wall. but it's not. It actually absorbs attacks, if I remember correctly. I think there is one more item. I think it's also in the mayor's house. And I'm assuming that this is the mayor's house because when I went in and talked to somebody, they said the mayor is having issues with some such. No. I want to steal from your shelves. Now with this, we could very easily drop and then pick back up the reserves. I believe I believe once we go to Zagos' castle, everybody's forced out. Basically, there's, if I remember correctly, there's 2 parade slots, and obviously those have to go to Pique and Midia. But on the other hand, later in the game, there's not going to be a lot of uses for those items, because eventually you get a higher spell, I think. We have one of the elements of it, I don't know what the other one is. And I think it's whenever we get the break spell that hits everybody is when we can just hire using health instead of an item. So it's one of those, they'd be here for a dungeon. Is that worth it? It would be XP for an actual potential endgame character. I think so. Also, of course, it makes it much easier. Oh, yeah, I need to not be in town. Not sure why it doesn't work in town, but... I got worried for a second there. What? Did I hit the wrong button? Oh, I guess I need to employ J-Reserve instead? Does this just not work right now? That was weird. Now, G's gear is the same. He still has that weird combination of stuff. I believe that much higher luck means that the seed sword will more frequently do whatever it is it's supposed to. I don't know what that stuffed... Is it stuffed? Staff Gubo? Is he also using a a staff on his belt slot. But yeah, I think that it can confuse, and I think the Seed Sword can freeze an enemy. But confusion just isn't that useful. It would be a lot better if he had a bottle. As we've seen though, bottles are kind of rare, and unfortunately we can't equip him with one of ours. It kinda is what it is. I know they said to the south, I think it's through this passage. And we will get to see how strong he is. Well, how much stronger he is. Which is to say, each one of his attacks right now do about as much damage as Jay's would, but they are not split up. They can't be split up. And I'm still using the group bolt spell with Pique because I think that he still needs to finish leveling up Rake. Oh, hey. Yeah, he's not great with his spells right now, but you have the opportunity to level him up. And as I mentioned, his strength does make him a potential endgame character. His magic is not the best, but unlike oops, forgot that it's actually under magic. Unlike his brother Jay, he can use some. He even has a single character defeat. He has defense up. He actually has a pretty decent number of abilities. I don't know what that isn't helpful in the slightest. Oh, it causes enemies to focus their attacks. I believe there's a handful of items here, being that it is a dungeon. I think we'll pick up another S Tavern. The casters would seem to me to be a little bit more dangerous right now. They seem to tend to be more capable of doing AoE damage. Also, their attacks take forever. So hopefully that does enough to kill her. Oh, no. Probably should have still attacked with Jay. Man, those things can hit a lot. Ah, ended up not mattering. I got lucky. But yeah, basically with this changed setup, it's gone from G is the weak link of the two to J is the weak link of the two. Which is interesting. I see that water, I'm thinking that this is going to end up being a water shrine type. I hate these places. Actually, I seem to recall his spell didn't do much, and Bolt knocked these guys out, so... These are the big things we'll need to hit for this shrine, I think. Oh, I didn't use that. It's not going to be relevant for I never used either one. They're not going to be relevant for a bit. But for the moment, Midi is definitely our water user. Hornfish. Yeah, even hitting G a whole bunch of times with a crit. Barely double digits. But yeah, while he will never be a master magician at the same level of Pique and Nydia, having break does mean that he will be useful for a while. And of course, right now we're facing enemies that are mostly resistant to it, but still useful. So yeah, that's one of the annoying parts about this dungeon. Is just it feels like it's a lot of backtracking, even though it's not actually backtracking. Actually, I think the knockers are still the slightly more dangerous enemy. Just because if either one of them focused on Midia, they could kill her. And if I currently sound like I'm bored, that's mostly just because I'm tired. While these fights are tedious and slow, the boredom isn't really present. And any boredom I'm really experiencing is mostly because frustrated with where I am in another game I am playing off stream, which is Baldur's Gate. And I'm frustrated with that because I'm at Baldur's Gate and I always forget how much I hate the city. Like, you have a kind of crappy prologue and then, you know, some decent dungeon exploring. But just you have a lot better chapters prior, and then 5, which is almost entirely in the city, and everything has pretty arbitrary time limits. And very little of it's fun. Which is why I never do any of the side quests. Doesn't help that, aside from experience, none of them are worth it. Oh, yeah. Wanted to use that sky seed. I need to figure out who to use it on, don't I? Because I think one of the characters is pretty close to max. Pique's like 3/4 of the way there. And she's actually maxed. That's not supposed to happen. my desk has these little pullouts, which are great. That's actually one of the things I'm using to rest my elbows on. But if they slide to the left, they run into my mic stand because I'm not using a desk mount. I'm just using a mic stand. Major reason for that just being that I had weights and a mic stand with a boom arm, so it didn't make a lot of sense to not use it. I'm also real glad that I set up a push to mute toggle button. It definitely makes times when I'm going to cough or know that I'm going to be making noise, such as if I'm moving the microphone, a lot easier because I don't need to go over and actually toggle mute in the program. I just hit the button and hope it works, and if it doesn't, well, you know, I sound like an ass. Which way? Here. I think it's left. Looking like I was correct. Also, I should have really healed before this. But yeah, once we finish with this, I think I'm going to save and quit. Will be a little bit, but because we do have a boss in here. I actually thought it was at the final treasure chest over there, but perfectly fine with being wrong. We're doing better damage than I expected. I think defense down is gonna help us more than... She might be able to kill him. We might be able to kill this boss. Without... Yeah. We killed the boss without him getting an attack off. That seed sword is good. Like, the damage it does is good, and that's great. But being able to just knock people out, or potentially knock people out, not necessarily as consistently as we'd like, but potentially knock people out for just turns on end is so ridiculous. Also, secondary reason is I am getting really hungry for reasons I'm not 100% sure of. I should actually check and see if his whatever break is. I think that's Sky, which is why I've been using the Sky stuff on him. Also, I think because I'm not not running from things quite as frequently, I'm doing a lot better this go around on levels and money. I don't know if that is a weapon. I mean, logically, it might be. Nah. So, actually, I should probably actually buy the medicine first, so that I'm not forgetting to do so. Yeah, the enemies there have quite a bit of cash. Medicine is cheap. Staying at inns is cheap, although in this case the medicine's cheaper than the inns. But the inn is good for people who are lazy. Because even if everybody needed 2 uses of the high bottle, that's, what, 40? Versus 120 for the inn. Well, that's going to be it for this time. I assume that AutoHost will take you over to Smite, which is also where I'm going to probably switch to watching. So, thank you for joining me.